All right, looks like we are going to get underway a couple minutes early. We've got a good one lined up for you. It is Oklahoma City and Ark Valley. I am Pastor Mike. Professor D on my left. Man, good to call with you.
Yeah, good to be here. We're going to see this jam starting off right as we go here.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, no time like the present. Just go ahead and start jumping in, man. We've got jammer v. jammer action early and a lead jammer very, very quickly. Eliza Jukshu takes lead jammer situation. She's off to the races. Nothing doing on the other side of the track is one-on-one battle. That's going to be Sinful Lee, I believe, doing battle one-on-one at the front of the pack. And Pain in the Bass. She's finally out and clear and free and running, but that jam's going to get called off. Let's run through them real quick for you so you know who's who in the zoo. Start us off with Ark Valley, if you would, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. For the Ark Valley High Rollers today, we've got number 1,000, Smasher 2, Smithereens, number 13, Sock Her Balls, number 15, Charlie Bronson, number 2, Mary Skankster, 217, Anita Hit-a-Bitch, number 30, Shook Me All Night, number 40, Queen La Bicha, 420, Natty Dread, 454, Lead Betty, number 5, Zoom Plume, 63, Killer B, 710, Pain in the Bass, and 711, Nacho Sleaze.
We got an official timeout as the scoreboard is freaking the heck out. I'm not sure what the heck was going on there, but it was flashing from 15 to God only knows what that other number was, but they're going to get that worked on. So while they do that, let me tell you very quickly about the other side of the equation. That's the Oklahoma City Roller Derby. Tornado Alley Roller Girls start off with 107, Maya Oh Maya. 2-bit, Lita Lita Hobita. 382, Anomaly. 411, Block Party. 55, Eliza Jukshu. 707, Sinful Lee. Number 9, Scary England. M31, Galaxy Inferno. And M80, Tina T. That's what we've got, and we're going to be in a somewhat extended official timeout here, Professor D, while they fix yet again the scoreboard issue. It's been an ongoing problem, and everybody at home knows that, so bear with us. You also know that it will come back very, very quickly, so we'll get this squared away.
Yeah, and it looks like it's up there. We can see it. We're going to make sure that the refs can check it out and make sure that all of the time is right on there and everything looks like it's supposed to.
3-0 on the board. They're going to go ahead and get the time right before starting us back up again. But what do you think? When you take a look at these two teams on paper, I mean, from a ranking standpoint, in the WFTDA ranking, currently Oklahoma City Roller Derby with a 106 number, playing an Ark Valley team that comes in at number 131. What does it look like to you as they start up?
At number 131, I think Ark Valley is probably playing a little bit better than that. I've seen them in a couple of games already in this tournament, and they have put together a pretty good showing.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it as we progress. Whistles blow, and off they go. Jammer on jammer. Charlie Bronson on one side. The other side of the equation is going to be Anomaly for Oklahoma City. She's out first, out fast, but she does have a spy. A stalker coming up behind her. Charlie Bronson's going to give chase, and this jam's going to get called off very, very quickly. Nothing doing on either side. That's a nothing kind of a we'll just start it again.
Yeah, Ark Valley is using a strategy that I personally like very much, which is trying to control the back of that pack. You see when the other jammer gets out there for lead, Ark Valley forms up in the back, and they put a big four-wall back there.
Tell you what, it's going to be interesting calling with you, man, because don't get the opportunity to call with an actual real-life roller derby coach. Someone who knows what the heck's going on. That's good stuff.
We'll see what we can do.
Back to the action on the track. Lita Lita Hobita jamming for Oklahoma City. The other side of the line. And we'll take a look as it comes by. There she goes. That's going to be number 5, Zoom Flume, and her first trip to the stripe. She's out fast, man, up front, in a hurry. And let me tell you, Lita Lita Hobita jumping out. She can fly. Absolute pure speed. She catches up and seals that one. Jam's going to get called off, but not before an extra point gets put up on the board. So we've got a 1-0 jam that time around. Call it 4-0. Ark Valley in a slight deficit.
Yeah, absolutely. Lita Lita Hobita is a very, very fast jammer. And so you were talking about my experience as a coach. My team, the Rage City Roller Girls, actually had a chance to play Oklahoma City Roller Derby earlier this year. And so we've got some experience with them specifically.
Good to hear, man, because it's going to come in handy. I'm from the the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains all the way on the other side of the country in Greenville, South Carolina. I've not seen either team in person, so it's going to be a good one. Inside track, hop, skip, and a jump, and what do you know? Elijah jukes everybody. She is gonzo, brother. She's out and flying.
Lita's showing you that she's not only a fast jammer, but she's a good blocker, too, as she is out there putting some moves on Payne in the Bass, who's the go-to jammer for Ark Valley.
And that one's going to get called off right there. Nice job. Yeah, she came right back in after jamming and strapped on the pivot helmet, so she was ready to go no matter what. 8-0, a quick start for Oklahoma City. It's 26-21 on the clock. Good stuff coming all the way around, man. It's been a long day, a lot of tournament action. Anything surprise you from today's bouts?
Not really. I mean, I've seen some men's bouts today that were pretty crazy. Sioux City, as a matter of fact, for the ladies is looking very tough, and Junction City looking really tough in this tournament. As far as this game goes, I think Ark Valley is going to need to start slowing this down because the fast game is the one Oklahoma City's looking to play.
Yeah, well, they've done that right now. I mean, that pack speed was 0. Absolute no motion whatsoever for a good 10 seconds. On the line, Charlie Bronson and... there she goes.
Yep.
Lita's going to go take a seat. She's got a track cut penalty, and our first power jam of the evening begins. Charlie Bronson in control of things. Full pack situation, both sides of the equation. Off to the races. 8 points on the board for Oklahoma City. Ark Valley's got an opportunity here. That's a quick 5 spot. Give her the grand slam. Charlie Bronson very, very quickly and smoothly back, engaging the back of the pack. She's got 1 down, make it 2, make it 4. All quick. That's a quick 5 spot. And all of a sudden, we've got a lead change. Ark Valley with 10 points on the board. Power jam points will kill you, Professor.
Absolutely. Charlie Bronson does not have any problem banging through that pack and being very tough. She's a very tough jammer, putting a lot of heat on there. So Charlie Bronson is out for another 5 points, and Lita Hobita comes out of the penalty box, and she is looking to make her initial pass.
Yeah, nice move there on the inside line. I mean, she had 2 to beat and just kind of took a little ankle breaker there to the inside of the pack and made her way through. It's not going to do her any good. She's not able to get back to the zone. 19 points there for Ark Valley, and all of a sudden Ark Valley jumps up with a big step. 19-8 on the board, 24-23 to go.
Yeah, like I was saying, as soon as Ark Valley started slowing that game down, they were able to get it, force that track cut on Lita, and were able to get out there and capitalize on that power jam.
No doubt about it. Hey, while we've got a quick second, just want to shout out to our friends over here at ColoradoSports.TV. Not only have they been streaming all of this for free, by the way, hit the donate button, but they also fed us, which is great. So you got the feed, and we got fed. So big thanks to them. Back to the action on the track, because really that's what we're all here for, isn't it? Zoom Flume locked in tight in the back of the pack. And, of course, as soon as you say that, she's going to go ahead and find her way to the front in the same amount of time. Anomaly for Oklahoma City got out, got through, got around, and found her way back to the engagement zone. So now we're going to have, she's forced out of play right there in turn number 4. She'll have to call it off, but not before a quick 2 points put up on the board. So nice work there. 10-19, what we're going to see at the end of that one with about 23 minutes and 20 seconds to play, Professor.
Yep, Ark Valley needs to just make one more adjustment on that 4 wall that they've got in the back. They're doing everything right, except for they need to start putting on the brakes. When that jammer hits and hits hard, their back wall is disintegrating, so they need to work on that. But I think they've got the right idea going.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you at all. It's a tight game, and you know what? We were looking for a tight matchup as we talked about this one going into it. So living up to expectations early. Again, a lot of time to play. Payne in the Bass is the jammer of record on the black side. That's Ark Valley. 55 is Elijah Jukes. She'll be doing it for the Tornado Alley Roller Girls. Looking for a hole, looking for a seam, up on the toe stops, and the crossover kicks in, and we've got ourselves a foot race. Payne in the Bass is your lead jammer, but she's got a spy once again very, very quickly. Both jammers out and through, and that jam's going to get called off before any points can be scored on either side.
Yeah, 0-0. We're definitely seeing a switch in the defense on that jam as well. It seems to me that both of these teams are testing out a few little different techniques every time they go out and trying to find something that works for them. Both jammers getting caught up in the pack that time. Pass to Mike.
Well, you know what, and that's smart play. I mean, when you think about it, smart coaching, really. When you take a look at the fact that the matchups are working pretty evenly. I mean, these teams are it's a 19-10 lead for Ark Valley, but they just took the lead back. So why not figure out, let's see what's going to work. Let's mix up the lines a little bit, and let's really try and mix up the matchups as well and see if we can't make something happen. And now, front wall of 3 blue jerseys up front. Charlie Bronson looking to get her way through. And on the other side, number 9, Scary England, taking the first time of the panning. She's got herself an opportunity, but she's going to go to the box right now. She's going to take a seat on the track cut. Charlie Bronson, lead jammer, and a whole lot of room. Here comes the power jam.
Yeah, absolutely. Charlie Bronson, again, a very, very tough jammer. She's going to be able to capitalize on this power jam. We saw a high block there coming through on Oklahoma City. And
an anomaly.
Yeah, anomaly. So, we've got another power jam here by Charlie Bronson. So if she keeps this up, Ark Valley is going to take a considerable lead.
Well, yeah, and they're already at this point with another 5 spot on the board. They're already up by 19. Now, again, it's 21 minutes into the game, 21 minutes on the clock.
Sure.
So, this is early time. It's tough to say, well, one team's got much of an advantage. I mean, again, 19 points is nothing. That's one power jam, and we're back to action. So, let's not get carried away. But Ark Valley is certainly looking very, very crisp right now after you can even say a slow start. I don't even know if that's fair necessarily. It's just too early to say it. So, more action coming. We got another 5 spot on the board for Charlie Bronson. Another penalty going against number 55, Eliza Jukes. You didn't catch the signal. Not sure if you caught it or not, but she'll take a seat. That's 30 seconds of penalty time going to Oklahoma City. Jam's going to get called off there, but not before the damage was done, Professor. We've got a 15-point. Let's make that 19 on that final pass. A 19-point run for Ark Valley. They extend their lead out now with 20 minutes to play, 38-10.
Yeah, like I was saying, it doesn't. You're not going to see Ark Valley playing like they're 30 or 25 or 30 slots below Oklahoma City. I mean, they're bringing it to them here, and they've been playing outstanding throughout this whole tournament.
Well, I'll tell you something. I was speaking to both teams before the bout began, and I just wanted to kind of get an idea of who's who in the zoo and make sure that I was comfortable going in after trying to just watch film and so forth. And it was interesting. Speaking with Oklahoma City, the quote was, "We're going to show people who we are." And, kind of surprising that they wouldn't think that people know who they are at this point. I mean, they're a pretty solid team. Zoom Flume caught up in the back of the pack. She's got to work her way to the front. One to beat. It's Lita. In the meantime, Anomaly is back out on the track. She's got the lead jammer's position. She's got some opportunity, but she's going to have to get up off the floor, and she'll just call it off down there.
Yeah, I think the attitude on behalf of Oklahoma City is because they've lost a couple of games that I think that they really thought that they had a cinch at winning. One of which was the game that we played them, the Rage City Roller Girls from Anchorage, Alaska. I think that they thought we were going to come into town and they were going to wipe the floor with us. And when they took the loss, I think that they took it pretty hard. And then there was another loss, and I'm not going to quote that one because I'm not exactly sure which team it was that they played earlier. Oh, that probably would have been Northwest Arkansas. And when they lost those games, I think that took a little bruising of their ego.
Well, listen, let's be honest. The loss to Rage City was 281 to 121. I mean, that was not a knuckle biter, if you will, or a nail biter. I mean, that was a pretty big extension of Rage City's power right there. So back to action on the track. A penalty coming right there. That's going against number 382. That's Anomaly going down again. But number 55, strapping on the star, Eliza Jukes. She's in control. She's got almost a half a lap lead right now on Payne in the Bass, but that's going to change very, very quickly as she runs into a wall. And wow, inside, outside, inside again, and calls the jam off before any damage can be done. Oklahoma City's going to pick up some points here and jump into that lead just a little bit. 4 points on the jam brings us to 16 points for Oklahoma City. Ark Valley with a bit of a lead still at 38, 17:45 to play, Professor.
And Ark Valley, they also lose Lead Betty out there to the penalty box as well. We've got Eliza out there that's got a couple of penalties, and I think that we need to keep an eye on Oklahoma City for penalty trouble. Really, it's still early on in this game.
Well, we've seen a couple already, very, very quick penalties called on Anomaly, and she's in the jammer rotation. Now, she's sitting as a blocker now, but she's in the jammer rotation, and that's going to be an issue if she can't skate. So, you got to keep an eye on that at all times. Charlie Bronson is your lead jammer. She's out in a oh, yeah. That's the kind of collision we're looking for. Not one, but two in a row. Man, oh, man. Charlie Bronson flying around the track. Tina T out with the star on her helmet. She just got blasted not once but twice by individual blockers on Ark Valley. So count it up, put another 4 points on the board for Ark Valley. They lead now 42-16, 16:45 to go.
Yeah, both teams playing a very smart game here. I mean, like I said to begin with, you can see that they're both testing each other's strategies out there, and they're making adjustments as they go along, and it's really good to see. You can see now that Oklahoma City is lining up here with two inverted blockers there to start, and I think this is the first time we've seen that line up.
Yeah, we've seen single, but not double that I can recall anyway. So back to trackside action. It is very quickly Lita Hobita out front and with the lead. We're going to start this one off. One skater down for Ark Valley. That's going to be Smasher to Smithereens, the team captain sitting, waiting for her opportunity to come back in. Bunch of pinball action on the inside of the line. Lita Hobita. Inside, outside move, 5 points on the board for her. Still nothing doing on the Ark Valley side. They are really, really struggling to get their jammer through. They're going to keep on going, but wow, nicely played there. That's going to be a track cut penalty at the very end of it, but Lita really had an opportunity there. Zoom Flume now on the power jam, the track cut penalty to Lita.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the perfect example right there where, Oklahoma City dominates the entire jam until a crucial mistake is made there at the end, and now Zoom Flume, who was struggling to even make her initial pass, is now out there scoring 5 points at a time. Yeah,
and she's going to go ahead and do that in buckets. I mean, she can move, I'll tell you that. Sinful Lee, the last line of defense, but nothing doing there. And Zoom Flume has an opportunity to put some points on the board and really make a concerted effort here at the halfway mark of period number one as she runs into a big four wall, and they just cannot get that thing stretched out. Her team has completely come to a stop, and now finally Anita's going to jump in there and try and start pushing some folks around, clear the path, and they do, but we'll take a quick look at it. 5 points. Well, they did give her all five. Fantastic. I didn't think that was going to happen, but Oklahoma City now at 5 points on the previous pass. Ark Valley has come back with 10. Zoom Flume doing the thing and looking for more. She's got one. She's got two. She's got three. Looking for one more. And that jam's going to end right there.
Yeah, Lita Hobita was getting ready to come out of that penalty box and hit the back of that pack hard when the jam ended.
Well, I'll tell you something. If you're Ark Valley and you're sitting with a decent little league, nothing major. Was at 35 points right now. To go 14-5 in a jam, you're going to be happy with that. 14-5 and a lot of time ticking away. So we got a timeout now for Oklahoma City. So here we are at 14 minutes, 12 seconds. Listen, if you're at home, and of course you are, you see the donate button down there in the lower right-hand corner? Do us all a favor and click the donate button and make sure you drop $1 or $5 or $10 or whatever you got in the kitty and help the folks at ColoradoSports.TV who have been fantastic broadcast partners for us since the very beginning. So got to shout them out. Payne in the Bass, a 3-wall in the front of the pack, a penalty coming to Nacho Sleaze, and a big hit in the back right there. Not once, not twice, 3-wall in the back of the pack is really holding up the progress of Elijah Jukshu, who would like to get out and about, but can't quite crack the code.
Yeah, that Killer B is an awesome defense player, and she's even able to recycle up front. Finally lets the jammer go, but it was a hard-fought battle.
Well, we've got ourselves a foot race from the jammer side of things, but the pack is completely stopped. I mean, that's really interesting. You would think that on a breakout like that, both sets of skaters might say, you know what, let's get up front. Nobody moved. Jammers came back, and that one's going to get called off before any damage can get done at all. It's a 0-0 that time around.
Yeah, I think Ark Valley knew that Payne in the Bass was going to call that jam off, so they weren't in any hurry to start skating up there.
Well, hey, listen, you don't have to if you're in front.
That's for sure. So, we've got Killer B there again, and she's been quarterbacking this defense. I've been watching these guys all week, and Killer B is really effective up in the front or in the back of that pack, wherever she decides to station herself.
Charlie Bronson and Anomaly jammers on this one. And wow, nice move there. Tina T tried to lay the hit that would lay her out, but nothing doing. Off to the races goes Charlie Bronson. She is taking that inside line and owning it. That's all hers, and you can try and stop her if you want to, but she's coming through, baby. And there it is again, a nice power move to take the inside line. And that jam's going to get called off. Oh, man, a low block penalty. That's going to be Anomaly's going to take a seat.
Yep, and we're gonna start out with a power jam for Ark Valley, and I know that's several trips to the penalty box already for Anomaly.
Yeah, I'm tough to count without the whiteboards out there, but I believe I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna say that's 4.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. I'm looking at 4 myself for her.
Well, and we're gonna start not only on the power jam and the power start right now, but down a skater as well. So it's a 4-on-3 pack advantage on the power start. This time around, Ark Valley is going to go ahead and send to the line to jam for them Zoom Flume. She's got one to beat right now, and that's number 707 Sinful Lee. Takes her out of play right there in the apex of turn number 2, and then finally, as a reform, she's out and gone. So lead jammer status, she took advantage, but nice job there by Sinful Lee and Block Party really kind of working together to make sure that the time ticked away, giving Anomaly an opportunity to get back in play before a scoring pass could be completed.
Yeah, absolutely. Kudos goes there to Oklahoma City for eating up most of that penalty, holding Zoom Flume back.
Hey, listen, when you're down, 39 points, you got to do some things right if you want to get to a point where, you're going to even this thing out. And eating the clock away like that and power, a penalty kill is it's important.
Yeah, no, the Oklahoma City blockers really brought it to this one. They were able to hold Zoom Flume back, and I noticed Zoom Flume has been having a little bit of trouble, getting out. So I think Ark Valley is going to need to examine their jammer rotation the next time that they put her in. Their fielding, I can see Pain in the Bass is coming out there. She has just been super consistent throughout this whole tournament. Yeah,
well, and when you take a look at the 3 main jammers for Ark Valley, with Charlie Bronson and with Pain in the Bass, they've both, when they get out there, get out fairly quickly. And I'll agree, Zoom Flume has had a little bit of trouble on the 2 wall at the end of it, and we'll have to adjust that in order to make sure that Ark Valley does what they want to do on that one. In the meantime, speaking of doing what you want to do, Pain in the Bass did exactly what she wanted to do. She jumps out, she's got lead jammer status, but this is going to be a foot race. Once again, Lita Hobita is in her back pocket, and that jam's going to get called off before they can hit the engagement zone.
Yeah, but, Pain in the Bass is the smart jammer that she is. She took that jam all the way out to the last possible moment before knocking it or calling it off. She's going to try to preserve the lead. It's not a huge lead, but a lead nonetheless, and they're going to do what they can to go into halftime here, holding on to it. And you can see, Killer B is quarterbacking this defense right here. And even though she's down 1 blocker.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Won't be down 1 for long. She's already up and standing in the box and getting ready to make her way back in, and has done exactly that. We've got another penalty coming. Didn't catch it. It's Tina T, I believe, getting called on the penalty. No, it's not after all. I take that back. Go the other direction. That's going to be, I believe, Block Party.
Yep.
In the meantime, we've got another foot. They're just both breaking out simultaneously.
Yep.
You got to love this. Eliza Juxu and Charlie Bronson racing for the finish line. Oh, nice move. Quick hop, jump, skip through the line. Take all 4 points. A 4-0 skip. Nicely done.
Yeah, that was definitely a nice increase there for Oklahoma City. And that was a 4-1-1 Block Party that went to the penalty box on a high block.
There we go.
She got called for.
A little bit difficult. We're down here on the floor. We don't get the benefit of a raised dais to be able to kind of see some of those calls. And with the way that the referees are kind of positioned and where we're at, it can be a little bit tricky to catch the hand signals sometimes. So glad there's at least 2 of us out here that can figure out what the heck's going on. Lita jammer for Oklahoma City. She's out first, out front, and out in a hurry. In the meantime, guess what? Zoom Flume caught up in the back. 2, now 3 blockers. A nice job of recycling. And they shove her out of play not once but twice. She's able to come back in, but she's locked down tight. A 2 wall again. Man, oh man, they are just locking her down as Lita races around the track, having her way with it. Now, finally, Zoom is out. She's going to go ahead and come back into the back, but we've got a back block penalty being assessed to Lita right now. So, power jam activity after 5 points put on the board. She'll sit for 30 seconds, and let's see what Zoom can do with it. Right now, she's going to have to come from behind because, man, oh man, nice little hit there. Sinfully once again putting her on the ground before she's able to take that outside line. 5 points on the board right there for Zoom.
Yeah, Lita has a great jump on her, and she can get some distance, but sometimes when she comes down, she is not 100% in control of it. That time, committing the back block, and like I was saying earlier, those jammer penalties are going to start adding up here for Oklahoma City all too soon, I think.
Yeah, well, it's a 40-point lead right now. Both of these jammers have 5 points, and Zoom is getting pushed around. Tina T pushed her out of play. Did you catch that?
I did not.
Zoom Flume had a little message for the referees. She pointed to her chin and says, hey, that's 2 times she's jacked me in the jaw. So not sure that she'll get any love out of them for that one, but 4 more points put on the board by Lita, who's now found her way not only out of the sin bin, but to the front of the pack. She's got 3 up front, now 2, and a nice job of recycling to bring her back in.
Yeah, and I don't know how apparent it is for folks watching this at home on their screen, but there is quite a height differential between Zoom Flume and number 411 Block Party, and so I can definitely see where the high blocks can keep on coming.
Yeah, well, she's not happy. I mean, she ripped that jammer panty off of her head, and she's absolutely not happy with the way things are going out there. She's going to talk it over with her bench coach, and Galaxy may may approach the bench here in a few seconds. But in the meantime, let's take a quick peek at the scoreboard. It is 74-39. Ark Valley with the lead after a 9-3. Now, take that back. Let's see. As soon as you say it, it's done. A 14-9 Oklahoma City run. So Oklahoma City jacking up the points a little bit now, 74-39 with just under 6 minutes to play. Back to the live action on the track. 7-1-10 is Payne in the Bass. She's got 1 to beat at the front of the pack. In the back on the other side of the line, we've got another little bit of activity. Eliza Jukshu takes that inside line. Off and running. Penalty coming to number 13 on the Ark Valley side. Soccer balls will sit. Another penalty coming on number 9. That's on the other side. That's going to be Scary England. So 2 penalties on alternating teams. So they'll sit down and hit the bench at about the same time.
Yeah, so Ark Valley put up 3 points on that run. It looks like Oklahoma 2 then, right?
Yeah, there you go. 3-2 run for Ark Valley. So 1 point to extend their lead. We're approaching the 5-minute mark in this one. Lita steps up. Jammer line on the other side of her. It looks to be, I'm going to say that's Payne in the Bass. That's who it is.
Nope, that's Charlie Bronson.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is. Charlie Bronson. And she's playing some defense there.
Oh, there you go.
She's holding back, waiting for that hole, and she finds it.
Yeah, good call. That is Charlie Bronson. You're absolutely right. And she's off to the races. Lita taken down in turn number 2. That one courtesy of, I believe, yeah, absolutely, Queen Labicha. Yep. Laying the lumber on that hit that took her out of play and slowed things down. So as we roll, Charlie's got 5 high, put another 5 spot on the board for Ark Valley. 4 minutes, 20 seconds to roll. Lita's going to have to play catch up, and she's got a long way to go and a long way to get there because that jam's going to get called off right there after another couple of points put on the board. Ark Valley and Charlie Bronson doing work. 9 more points on the board, 4 minutes in, and that's all we've got in the half. Ark Valley 86, Oklahoma City 41, Professor.
Yeah, and so Ark Valley has a bit of a lead still, and they've been, playing a little bit more technically sound of a game with a few less penalties than Oklahoma City, but this is still too tight to call. I mean, Oklahoma City definitely has the ability to bust out and open this thing wide up. So, we just need to keep watching.
Yeah, listen, 45 points. I mean, if you've watched Derby for 5 minutes, 45 points is really, it's a lead. But, Tina T is going to go ahead and challenge the equation right now because she's out front. She's got the lead jammer situation in control. Payne in the Bass locked down tight. Turn number 3. She finally is able to escape a 2-wall led by, guess who? Lita. Strapping on the pivot panty this time around. They're going to collect their thoughts and get together. And the jam's going to get called off, but looks like a 4-point pass for Oklahoma City. So, yeah, points on the board is a good thing when you're down. So 45-86 with just under 3 minutes left to play. Plenty of time.
Yeah, and that was a perfect example of what I was talking about earlier, where Ark Valley needs to tighten up that back wall. I mean, they've got the idea down, but the jammers are just hitting it way too hard, and they're just slicing right through it.
2 minutes, 40 seconds left in the first half. 86-45 on the board. Back to work we go. We got another penalty coming. That's going to be a multiplayer block. We'll get it sorted out in a minute. Zoom Flume is out. She's out, I believe. Yes, she is out first, but Eliza is in her back pocket, and they're going to go jammer v jammer. Rubbing is racing, babies. It's also roller derby. Zoom Flume calls that one off wisely, as there was just absolutely no love coming.
Yeah, that was Nacho Sleeves, number 711 for Ark Valley, that went to the penalty box for a multiplayer block there.
Good catch. Appreciate the pickup. 86-45, approaching the 2-minute mark. On my mark and mark. There you go. 2 minutes left to play. 86-45 on the clock. Lita, and Charlie Bronson side by side, toe stop to toe stop, hip to hip, and cheek to cheek, but only for a moment. And the moment's gone. They're off and racing. Very, very slow.
Yeah,
not much of a race.
These packs have slowed down quite a bit from the starting out.
Yeah, no doubt. They're playing defensive ball right now, and we got another penalty coming. Number 9 for Oklahoma City. That's going to be Scary England. And again, we're going to have to go take a look at the penalty board here in a second, because that's we've called her number a couple of times as well. Charlie Bronson, not your lead jammer. Lita's going to take her 4 points, and she's going to be satisfied with that. She'll call off the jam for 3. Look at that. Before that fourth whistle blast, Charlie Bronson able to squeeze by, get those hips turned, and 3 points on the board. So, now they're going to say 4. 4-4 on that pass.
Yeah, no, Lita just called it off a second too late.
Tell you what, 1 second can mean 4 points in this game.
It just did.
There's proof right there. 90-49. We got about 47, 46, 45 seconds when the whistle blows. This could potentially do it for the half. We'll wait and see. I hate to say it, but could possibly be the last one. Pain in the Bass on the jammer stripe. Eliza's in her back pocket. The two of them are going to battle for position. Eliza's got the steam anyway. She's not got the lead yet, but she's looking for room, and she's going to tiptoe along the line. And finally, as she's trying to tiptoe around, Pain in the Bass jumps out. She's got control. Ark Valley once again with the lead, but Eliza's coming.
Yeah, I was looking for Smasher to Smithereens to get a low block on that one, but the whistle did not blow. I think she was a little surprised as well.
Yeah, well, and that was my hesitation as well, as I'm sitting here thinking, we're going to call the penalty. You don't want to say anything because the penalty's cut, but the penalty never came. So it looks as if, and we're going to wait for an official word, but that's the official word we were looking for right there. We are at the half. Ark Valley leads 93-49. Don't you dare go anywhere. We're going to be back in just a few minutes with a whole nother half. In the penalties.
Yeah, we have Eliza jukes you. Nope, hang on a second. I just want to make sure that this is right before I give you any information.
Yeah,
no,
you're looking at Anomaly now, yeah.
Yeah, Anomaly is sitting at 6 penalties.
Holy cow.
Yeah, Lita Ho Beater is sitting at 4 penalties. They've got one with 1, one with 2, and another one with 3 penalties. The worst penalty trouble that Ark Valley is in is they've got 2 skaters with 2 each.
Well, let me tell you something. I mean, the 2 that you just mentioned that are really in big trouble, Anomaly and Lita, with 6 and 4 penalties, each. Those are your 2 jammers.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are the scoring powerhouses for Oklahoma City.
Yeah, listen, we'll follow that one closely because clearly, again, you don't want to sit here and harp on penalties nonstop, but we knew early on, with 4 penalties in the first 15 minutes or so for Anomaly that was going to be an ongoing issue, and it's going to show itself right now as a major issue in this game if she's not on the track for them. And I don't. You tell me, you coach. What is a girl thinking, when she's sitting at 6 penalties and the beginning of the half? Is she going to be playing more tentatively because of a detriment to the team? But she is scoring points. So, do you take her out with 6 penalties or do you let her just get the 7th and when she gets it, then she's done? I don't know. Again, I've never been in the situation. I don't coach. I just scream. So, we'll figure all that out as we go on, and I'll come back to you for the answer on that one. But Eliza's going to be your jammer for Oklahoma City. On the other side of the line, it's going to be Payne in the Bass. She's going to fight for position right now. A little tough to see on that side. There she is right there coming through and looking for a hole. Nothing doing. She's forced out of play. Backside, outside of turn number 4. In the meantime, Eliza looking for a hole herself, and she's going to be more fortunate in the long run. She's out and about, and Payne in the Bass forced out of play, and they're going to bring her back. Sinful Lee doing a nice job. And she's been doing it the entire first half. Forcing Payne in the Bass out of play and then pulling her back, drawing her back, showing nothing but the front of her chest, and you got to come chase me to get yourself back into play legally.
Yeah, no, obviously Oklahoma City has done some adjustment at halftime, one of which is to try to grab the back of that pack, and they were able to keep Payne in the Bass contained for a long time.
Well, she's out now, though. She's out and flying around, and Nacho Sleaze tries to lay the hit, but Eliza jukes her inside-outside move, and she's going to call that jam off right there, but we'll take a quick look. I believe 4 points are going on the board.
Yep.
Yeah, 4 points for Oklahoma City, nothing on the other side. 53-93, 40 points separates them, 28 minutes, 27 seconds.
Yeah, so obviously, like I said, that adjustment has been made, and we'll see if they can carry it through to the next jam. We're seeing a little bit of a change. You can see here, we've had the front of the line, we've had the back of the line. Now they're skating up towards the pivot line, and now back towards the jammer line. They're sort of testing each other out as a team to see where they can get the most traction.
And a lot of reverse blocking, just like you had pointed out earlier. Now Charlie Bronson hop, skip, and a jump on the inside line. She's gone. Lita's going to have to play catch-up, but she's got a half-track lead on her already, so that's not going well, and Lita's getting locked in tight, and, of course, as soon as you say that, Lita's out and running.
Yep, absolutely, and she is fast. She can eat up track in no time flat.
Well, especially when they're doing a nice job on the other side. Yeah, she'll have to call that one out from her back after a big hit, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, once again, Sinful Lee laid the lumber, brother.
Yeah, no, she has definitely been turning on the defense for Oklahoma City. We've got Led Betty out in the penalty box for a high block for Ark Valley.
Yeah, Eliza Jukes is going to sit in the catbird seat, as it were. She's back there behind the line. Can't see the black jammer yet. She is low to the ground. She's sitting in front of probably one of the shortest skaters on the track, and she's so low I can't find her. There she is. Guess who? Zoom Flume pushed out of play. Block Party doing the damage there, but she's back in. Both jammers having a good time partying in the back of the pack, bouncing around, banging around. Zoom Flume finally makes her way to the front, but she gets locked down, and jammer position switches once again. Eliza finally going to be the lead jammer. She gets out and about on the outside line. We'll see if Zoom can be as fortunate. She's got one to beat. It's Lita, and she does get out, but now again, big space to make up, Professor D.
Yeah, and this is where Ark Valley has to decide what they're going to do, okay? And so what they did at that time was nothing. They ended up giving up 2 points. They need to either get together in that back and form a really tough wall that jammer can't get through, or they need to move up to the front and speed that pack up because they know that their jammer is out, ready to go.
Absolutely. Fantastic analysis. 26 minutes when we start. 95-56, a 3-0 run for Oklahoma City. And let me tell you something. You might just be a decent derby coach after all, because guess what's happened? There's Anomaly. She's sitting over there on the bench. She hasn't moved since this thing started. They haven't put her in. They haven't used her. She sits. So you know what? Maybe, just maybe, you got me on this one. We'll see how that one plays out, but nice call, Coach.
Well, that was a nice play there for pain in the bass, and she jumps out easily, attains lead jammer.
On the other side, nothing doing. One to beat. It's Anita. They're going toe-to-toe. Anita hit a bitch, and man, oh man, big, huge action. Tina T getting bounced around. Smasher to smithereens, helping out there, but that was Smasher and Anita Hitovich, who, by the way, just flew in from Hawaii today. This is her first bout. She's got to be exhausted, but she's out there laying hits. That was nasty. Ark Valley with 5 points already on the board. Back to the engagement zone looking for more. Tina T isn't going to get an opportunity. That jam's going to end right there, but the damage had been done. Ark Valley eating up time, putting up points, 5-1 run that time. And now, there we go, 5-0. That didn't make sense to me. Now 7-0 finally put up on the board for Ark Valley is 7 points.
Yeah, that blocking is exactly what I was talking about there as far as teamwork goes. That was perfect. Anita Hitovich was holding her back, gave her enough time for Smasher to smithereens to come in there and get back up there and put the hit on her that she needed.
And back to the action, jammer on jammer. Full pack for both teams. Everybody, a full complement of skaters on the floor. Spying and flying. Everybody's looking for a hole. Charlie Bronson, 1 to beat, takes the outside line. Nice job of recycling, and they force her out of play. Lita doing the exact same dance with Nacho Sleaze. Charlie Bronson being brought back, and now we're going to have to see what happened there. I'm not sure that I caught that, but man, oh man. How on earth did that happen?
Okay, that was a failure to reform by Eliza. Number 55, Eliza Juxiu there.
Right.
She did not reform that pack when out of play was called, and she ended up getting called on it. As a matter of fact, she continued to skate backwards after out of play was called in the back of that pack.
Yeah, that's very, very tough. I don't know how you do that, but she did it, kept on going, and the penalty is exactly what it should have been. Ark Valley now over the century mark, 102.56. We got 23 and a half to play, and as the whistles blow, off they go. Nice big blast there. Sinfully's going to take a seat, but out goes Zoom Flume. She is your lead jammer. She's out front, out fast, and she's got a nice, healthy lead. Both jammers now out of the pack and racing about a half a track lead. Number 9 on the other side of the equation. That's going to be Scary England strapping on the star, but Zoom Flume gets that one called off before any points can be assessed on the other side. So that's going to be a 4-0 run on behalf of Ark Valley, stretching it out.
Yeah, and Pastor Mike, if you look right over there to the penalty box, you're going to see the problem for Oklahoma City right now. They have got 2 blockers in the box right now. That means 2 blockers on the track, and that is what is really, really doing a number on this team.
Well, we saw it during the halftime. Yep. You know, when you went back and you said, okay, so Anomaly's got 6, Lita's got 4. There's one skater with 1. There's one skater with 2. There's one skater with 3. The only thing going on the other side of the equation for Ark Valley was 2 skaters had 2 penalties apiece. So penalties are certainly adding up, and maybe what's making the difference here. Again, we'll take a look at the stats as we go, but Lita jumps out. She's got the lead jammer status. I don't recall the last time we saw. It's been 3 or 4 jams anyway, but out goes Lita. She's got herself a couple of points. Pain in the Bass is going to give chase. That jam's going to get called off before Pain in the Bass can make the engagement zone. So points on the board for Oklahoma City, nothing for Ark Valley. They're going to start doing that. I mean, it's a pretty simple equation. Yep. Put more points on the board, stop your opponent from scoring points, and we might be able to get back to this thing. It's now 61-06, 21 minutes, 51 seconds.
Yeah, so again, it's not one strategy that they're playing, and I'm watching these blocker lineups, and you can see it off the line every single time. They're trying to change it up. They're trying to do something different. They're trying to find the formula that works. Both teams are doing it.
Well, you know what I like about it is the fact that they are mixing it up, because, a lot of teams would just say, we've got a strategy and we're going to go with it, and that's what we're going to do. Hey, nice aerial action right there. Eliza jumps up, lands it almost, gets hit on the way down and takes the hit, but lead jammer status goes the other direction. Charlie Bronson is out and a whole half-track lead, and man, oh man, not even touched. Outside, inside run, and she did get touched on the end. She's forced out of play. I don't know where that contact came from. There was nobody over there, but she went out of play and had to come back in behind, forced to call it off, 4-0 run.
Yeah, but on that play, that block that allowed the Ark Valley jammer to get out, this was Anita Hitovich, and she was not going to stop for that big jump that the Oklahoma City jammer put on there, and she stood her ground, and that allowed that Ark Valley jammer to slide through.
20 minutes, 35 seconds to go. Whistles are blown. 110-60.
Nacho Sleaze in the back, just controlling Lita Hobita.
Yeah, we haven't seen that a whole lot either. I mean, she does not get controlled very quickly. I mean, she's had a pretty simple run. She's out and looking for it. Zoom Flume pushed by Block Party. Block Party thought she had her out of play. Nothing doing. We've got a foot race now. Zoom Flume can fly. We'll see if she's fast enough to catch up. Lita is on lead jammer.
Yep, so Lita's going. She's going to try to score some points and call off the jam, I'm guessing.
Well, you would think she would, but nothing doing there. That hasn't been called yet. And now,
So I think she gets a little overconfident there.
Yeah.
Tries to go for the big points. And what she should have done is, as soon as the opposing jammer, Zoom Flume, exited that pack, she should have called off that jam, saved time on the clock, and been able to get in the saddle for another one. Instead, now, Ark Valley's on a power jam.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Lita sitting down is not what you want. 19 and a half minutes to go. Zoom Flume with one to beat, one to meet, and does. 5 high. That's the Grand Salami. Slather the mustard, baby. She's got all 5, but she's got a partner in crime now. Zoom Flume is no longer alone as Lita is coming back in. She's got a hole in the back of the pack, but nothing doing. They close that door very quickly, seal it off, and lock her in tight. She's not going anywhere anytime soon. No pack called, and then a penalty coming on the other side of the equation. Let's take a look and see where it's going to go. But in the meantime, Zoom Flume out and back in. So there's your penalty. It's going to go against Sinful Lee. She's going to take a seat. Another penalty assist on the other side. That was Block Party. Did you catch either one of them?
I didn't see Block Party, but that was going to be a destruction on Sinful Lee.
Great call. Great call. We got another forearm penalty coming, and now it's going to be a jammer penalty. That's on Lita. And guess what? She's going to make the slow roll around. She's going to take a seat. Zoom Flume in control of that one. That jam gets called off. Let's take a look. We got a quick timeout first off. So Oklahoma City's going to call a timeout. A 7-10 run with 18 minutes and 20-something seconds. The clock is still running. That's going to end here in a second. They're going to have to put some time back on because the timeout was called, but that's where we are right now.
Yeah, Lita with that forearm, she has been swimming through that pack a few times, and I think this is the first.
Had been assessed at the half on Lita.
I did indeed.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's her second of this half.
Well, I think your math is a little bit better than mine because it wasn't until you just pointed it out that I think you are correct.
Well, that puts 2 jammers in 6 penalties for Oklahoma City. I don't know what they're going to do because they've already sat one and she hasn't moved.
Yeah, and you may end up seeing her again if they end up having to pull Lita out.
Well, you're not going to have a choice at some point. I mean, you're not going to have anybody left if you're sticking with the same the jammer rotation. So Pain in the Bass now out and about. Eliza was the last line of defense, but she's broken through to the other side. Inside-outside move, and she made her way through for all 5 points. So again, Ark Valley scoring in buckets, and Oklahoma City's going to have to find the cure. Now they're going to send Lita out. They don't have a choice.
They don't have a choice. She's in the box there as the jammer, so she has got to come out.
And she's going to do it. She's hit the back of the pack. We've got a whistle blow in a direction. A gameplay penalty going to be called now. That's going to go against Block Party. She'll sit. Out to the inside of the track goes Lita. She's able to reform. Very, very tenuous ground. 5 points again for Ark City. Ark Valley, Pain in the Bass is out there. Lita is clear, so she's in the clear for the moment. Let's see how long that's going to last. Still plenty of time on the clock. That jam's going to get called off, but not before Pain in the Bass puts up another 4 spot. Nothing on the board for Oklahoma City. So 17 minutes and 10 seconds. 134 for Ark Valley, 67 for Oklahoma City.
Geez, and I think I might have even continued that jam a little bit longer if I were Ark Valley, maybe hoping that Lita would get that 7th penalty and foul out of the game.
Well, you've got her on the track, and there's nothing she can do about it. Yep. So, and you know that she's going to push because she's done it the entire bout. I mean, she's going to go aggressive. Yet, even with 6 penalties, you saw her out there doing it. I mean, she was, forcing the action in the back of the pack there. Back to it, Charlie Bronson. She's out first, lead jammer status, and there's your answer right there, boys and girls. Sinful Lee has just strapped on the star for Oklahoma City. So there's your answer. They're going to go right back to it. They're going to add jammers to the rotation. They're going to take jammers out of the rotation who sit with 6 penalties. Nothing else you can do, I guess.
No, I mean, hopefully your bench is deep enough. It doesn't look like Oklahoma City is bringing all that many players as it is, and getting two of their top jammers into penalty trouble early on in the game it's really the game changer here.
Yeah, well, listen, we're not even halfway through the second half, and we've got two jammers sitting with 6 penalties apiece. And listen, let's be perfectly honest, okay? If Sinful Lee was supposed to be on the jammer stripe, it would have been a 4-jammer rotation, and we wouldn't be in the situation we're in right now. So they're kind of going to some alternate reality. They're going to some options that they wouldn't necessarily go to if two of their top jammers weren't sitting with 6 penalties apiece. Zoom Flume is going to take a forearm call. She's going to go take a seat. And in the meantime, lead jammer status to Eliza Jukshu. She's out and about, and the penalties starting to play on both sides. Ark Valley committing that one, and the power jam ensues, Professor.
Yeah, absolutely. Eliza Jukshu is definitely a good jammer. She's definitely fast, but Nacho Sleaze has really hit her stride out there, and they're gonna slow her down. I mean, she's gonna be scoring 5 points at a time, obviously per pass, but I'm not sure that that's really gonna phase the defense.
Well, we'll see how it goes. We've got a back block penalty being called right there on number 9, Scary England. We've heard her number a number of times as well, so we got to take a look at that. And Block Party's going to go down as well. We've called her number several times. Now on the other side, we're going to see Shook Me All Night racing towards the penalty box. First time we've called her number, I believe, so no issue there. But take a quick look at the action on hand. Eliza Jukshu with 2 to beat at the front of the pack. She'll call that off before Zoom Flume is able to re-engage. Take a quick look on the scoreboard. I believe you're going to have 2 on there. Yeah, you are. Last pass is 2 for Oklahoma City, a 12-0 run, 79-138 inside 15.
And you know what that looks like to me, Pastor Mike? That just looks like a bunch of time got run off the clock is what it looks like to me.
Well, listen, 12 points. They put 12 on. So, kudos to Oklahoma City. They got to do that. You got to, if you're going to catch up, you got to put points on the board, and they did shut Ark Valley out, so that's great. But you know what? You're right. You're not just playing against Ark Valley anymore. Now with that kind of a lead, now you're playing against the clock, 14 minutes to play. Whistles blow, pain in the bass with a nice little juke move, spin move, but she's not going anywhere. Galaxy Inferno has her locked in tight. She's got help, a 2-wall up front, and Tina T takes the inside line up on the toe stops and jams her way through, shoving and pushing and up on the toe stops. Fast. Now she's got action. Pain in the Bass is going to give chase, but not close. We'll take a look and see if we get that hit it and quit it action, or if they're going to keep on running. Yeah, she's going to try and stop it, but might have been too late. Yes, it was. Called it off too late. 2-1 the opposite way. That is not what you wanted. If you're going to call it off before your opponent scores the points, much less more points than you scored.
Yeah, that's usually the rule of the game. But, all of my compliments really need to go out there to Sinful Lee today. She is just bringing it. She is blocking. She's out there almost every jam. She's been jamming, and she's really been just bringing it to this game. So Sinful Lee for Oklahoma City is trying her darndest to do everything she can for her team.
Yeah, we rarely get an opportunity to have any say whatsoever in MVP blockers or jammers for a game, but I know where our vote would be. There's no doubt about it. I'd be right there with you, brother. We're back at it. Charlie Bronson back in familiar position with the lead jammer status and a lot of room to work with because Eliza is racing around the track and trying to cut as much of that time off as she can, and fortunately enough, it worked for her. That speed helped because no choice for Charlie but to call it off as she sat at turn number 4.
Yeah, 3 points for Charlie Bronson as she is calling the jam from the floor, hoping not to get hit in the head with some skates as they come around that turn.
143.80, 12 minutes and just a couple seconds on the clock. So if you're Oklahoma City, you have no choice but to score and score quickly. You're going to have a tough time doing it. 2 of your jammers are sitting in heavy foul trouble. They're not coming back, it doesn't look like. And so we're just going to keep on running jammers at you and just see what we can do. That's the message of the day. Nicely done. Zoom Flume, hop, skip, and a jump on the outside line. She's gonzo. Tina T, I believe. Yes, sir. Tina T is going to give chase. She's got a long way to go and a short time to get there because Zoom Flume is already back in the engagement zone. She's got a couple of points, and she's going to call that jam off, not giving Tina T any opportunity to put them up. 2 points, nothing. 2 points Ark Valley, nothing doing Oklahoma City, 11:22 to go.
Yeah, so one of the clock running out options for you is the call off. So, I mean, you can eat up minutes on the track, or you can eat up 30 seconds every time you call off the jam. And so, just whoever's doing their clock management for them is going to have to decide what the best way to do that job is.
Well, listen, it's a 65-point lead with 11 minutes to go. You could play NCAA rules right now and just, get it and call it, you'd be in good shape. We got a track cut penalty coming right now. That's going to go on Nacho Slee. She'll sit down, and a 1-skater advantage now, a 4-on-3 pack. And that's going to work on the positive side if you're Eliza Jukshu, who now has lead jammer status and one less blocker to work with. So we're going to go, down she goes. She's going to have to call it off, but once again calls it off too slow, I believe. Oh, she got it off in time. How you like that?
Yeah, she did indeed. That was good awareness there by Eliza Jukshu as she realized that she was not going to be able to recover from that jump that she made. She was wisely calling off the jam, hit the floor hard, and she's been limping a little bit as it is.
Yeah, we're going to get an official review now. Arc Valley wants to call the timeout and ask for an official on crisp all the way through.
Yeah, ColoradoSports.TV definitely puts on a top-notch production here. They do everything that they need to do to make this event good looking for you.
Well, they're doing it for free. So, I'll go back to what you said a minute ago, and please donate that one spot, 5, 10, 20. Listen, if you're sitting back there sucking down champagne and stuffing your mouth full of caviar, go ahead and drop a nice little bill on them if you can, because they're doing it, and they're doing it for free. Derby love out to ColoradoSports.TV. Meanwhile, hey, look at that. We got some action on the track. We've got no pack called and then very, very quickly fixed again. Off to the races we go. We got a penalty coming now. A high block penalty being called. Charlie Bronson will take a seat. The power jam begins, this time for Oklahoma City. Hey, man, listen, with 9.5 to go, a 145 to 80 lead, the power jam ensues. Is there an opportunity? Is that enough time? Can they do it? Eliza's going to give you an opportunity to find out. No, I take that back.
Yeah, we got a new jammer out there.
We sure do.
That's going to be 09.
Oh, yeah, that's scary England. You're absolutely right. She calls that one off to preserve what time she can and try and get the power start, see if she can't grab some more points out of this thing. Let me ask you about that from a strategy standpoint.
Sure.
You're already through. You've got your points. Why call it off there and force the restart and an additional pass in order to score? Why don't you just run?
Yeah. Well, I mean, in that type of a situation, obviously it depends on where the opposing jammer is. And it has to do with the fact whether you want to run points off the clock or run time off the clock, or if you want to keep time off. So if you're the team that is down on points, you want to call that jam off as soon as possible so that you can have the opportunity to restart. Because no matter what you do, the other jammer is going to be back around there before you can get it.
Yeah, fair enough. I guess I just look at it and I think, you know what? I'm already out there. I've already got lead jammer status. I'm already on the roll. I'm already clear of the pack. All I got to do is haul butt, get back around, and I've got an opportunity. If I don't like the look when I get back there, I can call it off. But I just don't know that I understand calling it off that early, because you're not preserving the clock at that point. You're letting 30 seconds more tick off the clock, and you can't score points. And, oh, by the way, you're going to have to come back and get lead jammer status again if you want to get those points on the next pass.
Yeah, no, definitely understood. I mean, there are multiple ways that you can look at it, and each one of them are valid. It depends on where the strengths of your team are. If you think you're better off the line, if you think you're better in the pack, who the opposing jammer is. I mean, if you think you're going to be beat by a super fast jammer who's already in there, and maybe on their jammer rotation they're going to be fielding a jammer that might be a little bit easier for you next time. I mean, who knows? There are so many variables in here. That's just another one.
Yeah, listen, totally fair, and I agree with you there. I mean, it's case by case. And in the last jam, we saw a 9-0 run by Oklahoma City, so clearly it worked out for them. They did pick up 9 additional points. So, once again, maybe I should just stick to announcing and leave the coaching to people who know the sport a little bit better than I do. That's a a very valid possibility, and I'm not going to deny it. Zoom Flume is your lead jammer. She's out first, but Tina T is right behind her, scoping her out and looking to see, will I have an opportunity? She'll have an opportunity, but not much of one. Nothing doing on that side of the ballpark, and nothing doing on this side either. 0-0 before that one gets called off. Jammer's on the floor, and the jam ends. 6:43 to play, 145-89, Professor.
Yeah, so it looks like we've got Led Betty sitting in the penalty box for Ark Valley. And I can't quite read the number on that blocker for Oklahoma City, but it's going to be 3-on-3 in the pack. Eliza out there, and we've got a Pain in the Bass out there as well. And so, I mean, we've got two really fast jammers, and we'll just see who can beat who.
Yeah, it looks like it's Maya Omaya, if I'm not mistaken. Again, you're right. Kind of tough to see from here, but I believe that's the other penalized blocker or skater for Oklahoma City. So on the clock, 6 and some change, 6:06, 6:05 to go. And nice jump there. Wade all the way through. Eliza Jukia has been playing at a very, very high level. And once again, she shows that she can do it all the way through to the end. Stamina, especially being that she's had to really step up the game with the rest of the jamming rotation in the box.
Yeah, and that's that four wall that you're seeing right now that I was talking about that they needed to put on there earlier. They were able to keep it up for about half a track, and it's still going. They're able to contain Eliza for a long time, allowing their jammer, Pain in the Bass, who is just having trouble getting out.
Yep.
They just give her that little bit of extra time that she needed.
Yeah, and Eliza was very successful there at the end. She picked up 4 points more, 93 to 145, and suddenly the lead is being cut into 93-145 with 5 minutes and 13 seconds to play. And hey, by the way, did you happen to notice who just strapped on the star panty for Oklahoma City?
I did indeed. And do you want to have a little side wager as to how long it's going to take for her to foul out of the game, Pastor Mike?
You did not go there with that. Anomaly is your jammer for Oklahoma City. She's playing very, very quiet. Charlie Bronson. Yeah, well, she has to. I mean, listen, you're one more and you're gone. Charlie Bronson is lead jammer. Anomaly is out clean, so she's going to have an attempt to score some points here. Let's see what she can do with the opportunity. Charlie Bronson is going to go down in turn number 3 and call that jam off before Anomaly has the opportunity that we were speaking of. So 4:34 to go. Ark Valley puts 3 on the board. Oklahoma City nothing. And listen, at least she went out there.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not. Anomaly is a fabulous jammer.
Oh, absolutely.
She is super fast, and she is super smart out there on the track. If she ends up going to the penalty box, she's going to spend that time, and then she may have to get replaced if the jam gets called off. Now another one of their jammers is out there, or in the penalty box when she gets replaced, or they put somebody in who's not necessarily a jammer that replaces her in the penalty box with the extra time on there, and then you have to jam her. Oh, we lost a toe stop.
Wow, yeah. Toe stop gone, and I believe that's going to be Nacho Sleaze, who's coming back for her equipment. In the meantime, lead jammer status is going to go the Oklahoma City way. Eliza Jukshu is going to take that, and we're going to be skating another skater down. So one in the penalty box for Ark Valley, another doing a little equipment adjustment, and that jam's going to get called off. Another 4 points on the board for Oklahoma City. Nothing doing for Zoom, who had no opportunity to score points on that one.
Yeah, so Nacho Sleaze decides to take herself out of the game and recover that toe stop as opposed to skating with it. A choice that individual skaters are going to make. Some skaters skate like demons without toe stops. Others, can't make it halfway across the track without them. So.
Well, and I'll tell you something. You saw what happened. Yep. As soon as she lost it, I mean, she kind of started to lose a little bit of the straight line opportunity, and she's kind of bobbing and weaving all the way off. And frankly, 50-plus points on the differential with less than 3 minutes to play, I take myself out too, and I look at it from a safety standpoint.
Sure.
Why bother putting yourself in a position where you might commit a penalty, you might get injured or cause somebody else to get injured? It just doesn't make any sense. We've got something brewing over here. Tell them about it.
Yeah, so we've got Pain in the Bass, who has pushed Alita Hobita out of bounds on the outside and has drug her back 3/4 of the track. Now, Lita doesn't want to get drugged back any further. Okay, so she doesn't keep coming. Now she decides to go the other way and really just eating time off the clock at this point in time.
Yeah, well, that was, smart play. And, Pain in the Bass is looking for that elusive 6-point unicorn. I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but not the way it looks right now. And this is just unfortunate. You don't want to see no derby, and that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing seconds, and a lot of them just ticking away as Lita is just sitting there content to wait, sitting on 6 penalties, and absolutely not considering coming back into play. And, I don't know, man, not what I wanted to see, I can tell you that.
Well, I happen to admire that strategy. I mean, both of those jammers did exactly the right thing at the exact right time. Lita Hobita goes and she waits out that time on the outside of the track and ends up becoming lead jammer.
Well, yeah, okay, so she gets lead jammer status, and she's celebrating, and she's excited because, you know what, I outsmarted you. But you know what? The clock outsmarted you. So, yeah, and I get it. I understand what you did there. But Lita, come on. You're down big. You got an opportunity. Get back on the track and let's skate, baby. We got to go. We need points. We don't need time ticking away, and we don't need moral victories of, hey, let's get the lead jammer status and celebrate on the way out the door. Let's go ahead and get the points on the board, or at least give us an opportunity to score them.
Yeah, but my compliments are going to go out to Pain in the Bass out there for that smart gameplay. She did, like I said, exactly the right thing with that. I don't think she was looking necessarily for the 6-point pass. But at this point in time, you're looking to kill that clock.
Yeah, well, and she did. I mean, that took a lot of time off the clock. We got a track cut penalty coming now, and that's going to go on Eliza Juxia. She's going to sit down. We'll have to take a look and see. I don't know how many that is on her, but that's going to come close anyway. In the meantime, the power jam switches over Ark Valley now, and that's going to be Charlie Bronson on the power jam with just 26, 25, 24 seconds left in this one. 148.97. We're coming to a finishing point very, very quickly.
Well, I was going to say, if Charlie Bronson could go 26 seconds without committing a penalty, but
and when
just as I was waiting for an opportunity to say that, break in the conversation, she goes to the penalty box.
Yeah, it's going to be a forearm penalty, and we're going to have a flip-flop at the sin bin, and jammer v. jammer. One goes out, one comes in, and that's Eliza Juxia. She's back to the engagement zone. We're on jam time now, Professor. Zeros all the way across on the game clock. 52, 51, 50 on the jam clock. 97-148 is where we sit.
Sure, and unless Eliza Juxia can make up this deficit in 44 seconds, actually, the penalty is going to play in favor of Ark Valley because
sure.
had the jam come to its natural conclusion, then there would have been enough time for Oklahoma City to call a timeout and force another jam. As it is now, once the 20-some second jam clock expires, this game is over.
Yeah, and we're at a full complement on both sides now. The penalty box is completely empty. 4 points on the board for Charlie Bronson, who has come back in and done her thing. So 4 on the board there. There's another penalty coming. It's going to be completely irrelevant right now. Queen Labicha, I believe, was the offender. She'll take a seat. And this one's going to come to its conclusion right there. That's going to be your final. We'll take a one last peek of the scoreboard here at Mayday Mayhem in Loveland. Oklahoma City cracking the century mark, 101. But Ark Valley with a 55-point win. 156-101 at the end, 4 points on the jam. Ark Valley got 8 to stretch it out just a little bit more. That's where we are.
Yeah, and like I was saying at the beginning of this game, Ark Valley is not playing like they are 20 ranking points behind Oklahoma City at this point in time. Ark Valley has decided to come to this tournament and really bring it because I've seen outstanding gameplay for Ark Valley from this entire weekend so far.
Well, I'll tell you what, they just picked up a fan from Greenville, South Carolina, because these girls brought it all the way. And I mean, just never stopped. They kept coming. They stayed out of penalty trouble. They played strong walls, front and back. Jammer rotation worked all the way through. I mean, there's a tough to find flaw in that game.
Yeah, and compliments have to go to Oklahoma City, too. I mean, they have a tough team, and they have a lot of talent. They just need to get those penalties under control, and they would be a force to reckon with. Again, I have to bring up my MVP, which is Sinful Lee. I mean, she played a near-perfect game out there. And, she did everything that she could to bring the win to Oklahoma City. She just was not able to pull it off.
Yeah, there you go.